Welcome back. You're listening to Houston Real Estate Radio. I'm your host, Shannon Register, and today we are talking a little bit more about the Texas Central Rail. Before we get started, though, I want to introduce today's guest, Marvalette Hunter. It's funny because Cheryl Hunter is one of my agents over at Register Real Estate Advisors, and she couldn't be here today because she's sick. Right. But she has helped you with real estate transactions. So I saw your name for years, you know, at the company. Before we met, yes. And Cheryl would just talk to me about you and just thought you were the greatest thing ever. And then we had you come and speak at Women's Council about the Texas Central Rail, and because you're a project consultant for Texas Central Rail, and so had you speak over there, and I was like, man, Cheryl, where have you been hiding this woman all these years? Like, I like this lady.
Wow, that's good.
You're just so articulate, beautiful, smart, just a really neat, dynamic person. So I said,
thank you, Shannon. I don't even have to pay you for that one.
I said, I got to get her on the radio. So then when I invited you on the radio, you're like, well, let me get somebody else from Texas Central Rail to come. I'm like, no, I want you. So here's my thing with this whole Texas Central Rail. Like, who doesn't want a high-speed train between Houston and Dallas that you can sit on for an hour and a half and get your work done and be there? I mean, it's just, it's like it's just amazing to think about the technology that's gone into making that happen, and that is an actual viable thing that we could have in Texas.
Right.
The flip side of that, though, is that it's impacting a lot of people to bring it, and the financial burden, of course, for it. And I have this one friend. You know, you always have that one friend.
Yes.
So I have this one friend, and she'll ask me things point blank. And you can't get out of it because she'll just say straight up. So this is what she said to me. Shannon, you talked about Texas Central Rail. You've had the people for it and against it on your show. Where do you stand? Are you for it or against it?
Oh, okay. Well, I'm waiting to hear. How did you respond to that?
And she and a couple other people have asked me that, and I really I don't know. I just am torn about it. I'm on the fence about it. I see both. I see both sides of it very clearly. I see the issues with it as far as the eminent domain issues and the people who are against it because of worrying about that a private company may not really be able to fund the whole project, and it could become a state burden, and then also the eminent domain issues. I see the flip side of it, of this amazing project, all the great economic impact it can have once it's completed. Assuming it's completed, right?
Yes.
And so I see both sides of it, and it'll be really interesting because in the next legislative session, it's probably going to come up.
It probably will.
So it'll be interesting to see how it all pans out. So I'm still, I don't know, I'm just still taking it all in, trying to decide. I mean, like I said, who wouldn't want a high-speed rail between Dallas and Houston, right?
Well, I would certainly agree with you. You know, I spend most of my time out in the community, talking to people, talking to communities, talking to stakeholders, elected officials. And the majority of the people that I run into are very supportive of the project. They want it. And the question that I get asked most often is, how soon will it be there? So I look at my role with Texas Central as getting out there and giving voice to the majority, because I know that the majority of the people that we talk to really want this project and can't wait for it to come. They look at it as a positive boost to the economies going up and down the line from Houston to Dallas, all of them, not just Houston and Dallas, but even those small communities in between.
Sure.
So it's a positive thing. And here's my take on it. I see this as a transformational project, a transformational in the standpoint that it provides an alternative mode of transportation that's convenient, that's safe, that's reliable, that's comfortable. It's not going to be for everyone. It's not designed to be, but it's an alternative that people are saying that they want.
Right.
And so if you have private investors that have come together and decided that they're going to use their resources to do the feasibility analysis to make sure that this project is viable, why shouldn't they have an opportunity to do that? Especially when people are saying, we want it.
So let's talk a little bit about the economic impact because it has huge potential for Texas. I mean, one thing, we would be the first high-speed rail in the country.
That's right.
Of this magnitude, and it would really make us stand out as a state where other states are going to want this when they see how great it is.
Right.
Talk to us about the economic impact that it has and how it's going to help all these cities along the rail, not just Dallas and Houston.
Right. So we're talking about a project that's estimated to cost about $12 billion. And that's direct investment into the Houston economies and which it's going to serve. So if you multiply that, kind of project over a 20-year period, by 2040, you're talking about $36 billion of investment. So I like to tell people, don't just think about the stations. Think about all of the transit-oriented development that would occur around the station. So you're talking about housing, office complexes, restaurants, stores. Just think of it as an airport and all of the ancillary services that you would need around there. So you're talking about the potential to really transform the communities in which these stations are located. But not only that, Shannon, the fact that it's a private company, it actually pays real estate taxes. So every place that rail line touches, every county, that's an opportunity for the tax base increase to come as a result of the tax revenues of the project. So every county, that's talking about monies for schools, municipalities. Many of these smaller cities in between Houston and Dallas really struggle with some of those things. And this would be an excellent opportunity for them to experience some economic growth and development. I can't think of a more exciting time to be in Houston right now. There's so much happening, so much growth and development. People are moving here from all over the country. That means that we have something really special here. I'm excited about that.
Yeah.
And this project has an opportunity to really set a standard for high-speed rail and serve as a model for what can be accomplished, not just in Houston, not just for the benefit of all Texans, but for the nation. Because once it's done and it's successful, I guarantee you it will be replicated all over the country.
Now, do you think, so all along the rail line, the whole rail has to be built. That's a lot of jobs created.
A lot of jobs.
And we see, when I talk to Dr. Jim Gaines, he talks a lot about how a lot of the young people who are brought up out in the country are moving to the cities, because there's no jobs. There just aren't the jobs out there. This would actually bring some rural jobs.
Absolutely. So we're talking about 40,000 jobs. So we're talking about 10,000 jobs per year of the project's construction. So we're talking a 4-year construction period. So these are...
And then you've got maintenance.
That's right.
After that.
So even after the project's constructed, we're talking about over 1,000 jobs, permanent jobs, that's associated with the maintenance and operation of the facility and the trains and all of that. So we're talking about not just a temporary boost to the economy.
Right.
But when you talk about permanent jobs in a brand new industry, you're talking about high-paying jobs. So people have to look at it beyond just, okay, there's going to be a train here, there's going to be a station here, and so Houston and Dallas and Brazos Valley. But beyond that, let's think about the potential economic impact beyond that.
And you have actually, you've actually seen and heard this train, haven't you?
I have not had an opportunity to go to Japan and ride the train.
Okay.
So maybe we can put in a pitch for me to actually be able to do that. But several people within the company have done that. Not only that, stakeholders in Houston and Dallas and Brazos Valley, they've been able to travel to Japan and actually ride the train. I've seen it. I've heard it. I'm just excited about it. I really truly believe that we have to have a paradigm shift in how we think about transportation. We can't continue to just build our way out of it. We can't expand roads to accommodate all the traffic congestion that we have in the city.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, we know we have infrastructure problems, so this is a different way to address it. So,
that's right.
All right. Well, great information. I appreciate you coming on the show today. If people at home want to go online and search for more information about the train, what's a good website for them to go to?
You can go to our website at texascentral.com. TexasCentral.com.
All right,
Yes.
TexasCentral.com.
Great.
All right, Marvalette Hunter, thanks for coming in. She is a project consultant for the Texas Central Rail Project, so we appreciate you coming in. Great information.
Great.
We'll be right back here on Houston Real Estate Radio after word from our sponsors.
RREA Media has an exciting new product available to companies and organizations who are teaching classes and want to offer those classes online. Introducing Easy Distance Learning. Easy Distance Learning is a video-based distance learning system that allows companies and organizations to leverage their existing classroom content into a broader reach and increased revenues. Did you know that the rate of growth of distance learning is 10 times that of classroom education? And 66% of chief academic officers think distance learning is critical to their long-term strategy. Right now, 33% of higher education students are taking at least one online class. Companies and organizations not offering a distance alternative to in-class instruction risk being left behind. Video-based distance learning has three basic components: classroom capture, post-production, and content distribution. Easy Distance Learning is a comprehensive and modular system that covers all three components that can help your organization with what you are missing in offering a quality and convenient online learning experience. You choose the parts you need help with. Easy Distance Learning offers another revenue stream, a broader reach of your existing content, and a professional presentation with a great learner experience. Contact us today for a free estimate and see how Easy Distance Learning can take your company or organization to the next level.